Mr. Walden, did you visit your aunt often?
But whenever I could.
You earlier heard Mr. Fairbanks give his account of the events of that particular night. Did it seem correct to you?
Yes.
Could you tell the court what happened next?
I noticed that the sliding door in the living room was open, so I ran out onto the balcony. And I jumped down into the alley.
And?
That man.
My client.
I saw him trying to get away, so I tackled him.
And you're certain that he was the man who robbed and killed your aunt?
When I tackled him, some of my aunt's jewelry fell out of his pocket.
What do you want?
Well, it is fortunate that you got there just in time to capture Mr. Lassiter.
If only I'd gotten there sooner, she'd still be alive.
The police went through the crime scene thoroughly. You know, I just kept staring at this photograph and couldn't help but wishing that there had been a witness to what had happened. And I realized there was. Defense calls Shirley Walden.
Order! Order!
Your Honor, Shirley was Edna's friend and constant companion, and as we can all see from the police photograph, she witnessed everything. Shirley is an African gray parrot. Research has shown that these birds definitely have intelligence potential. They can perform the same cognitive tasks as chimpanzees, dolphins, 4-year-old children. They can identify 50 or more objects, count to 6, differentiate between colors, objects, people. Mr. Lassiter, would you offer Shirley a peanut?
Charlotte wants peanut. Thank you.
Darren, you must know Shirley really well, huh? Would you mind giving her a peanut?
Peanut.
Sure.
Peanut. Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me!
Order! Order!
Your aunt caught you, didn't she? Trying to steal her money and her jewels. You lost your temper and you hit her. She kept crying out, "Don't hurt me, don't hurt me." You panicked, you hit her harder, just to get her to be quiet. When you realized what you had done, you opened the door to the alley to make it look like an intruder had escaped that way. And that's when you saw my client, poor defenseless old man, homeless, going through the trash cans. You thought, perfect scapegoat. So you ran out, you told Mr. Fairbanks to call for help, you jumped in the alley, you tackled Mr. Lassiter and conveniently dropped a couple of pieces of your aunt's jewelry nearby.
I didn't mean to kill her. I didn't.
No more questions, Your Honor.
I'll just take a coffee.
Come right up.
Driving all night?
Just to Los Angeles.
Oh. You got,
Another 3 hours. Should be home by 3 a.m.
Must make the trip often.
As often as possible.
There you go.
Take it you're a Warriors fan.
For you.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I rode up with a friend from LA, but I forgot to consider the whole getting home part. Dudley Banks.
Whitney Collier. So tell me, Dudley, how'd you like to ride with me? I could use the company. It would certainly help keep me awake.
Thanks, that'd be wonderful.
Check, please.
At least let me pay for your coffee.
No, Dudley, thank you. But I have a much better idea. Let's let my husband pay for both our coffees. So you work with the elderly?
I feed and wash the patients who can't do it themselves. I talk to them mostly, keep them company. You'd be amazed at how many of the elderly are pretty much abandoned by their own families.
Well, it's an admirable thing that you do, especially considering how useful you are.
Thank you. I really enjoy my work. How about you? What do you do?
I'm a little like you. My husband's in real estate development. He wheels and deals, and I take care of him. Sorry. You all right?
I'm fine.
Wow.
A little spending money.
Well, this is me right here.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well, thanks again for the ride.
I must say I really enjoyed myself. Thanks for accompanying me. Have a good night. Oh, listen, don't forget your backpack.
Thanks again.
Yep. It's termites.
Termites.
They're subterranean, the worst kind. It's a pretty big infestation, too.
Yes, of course.
Morning, Doc.
Morning, Dudley. How was your day off? Did you make it to the game?
Yeah, it was great. What a game.
You look tired.
It was a long ride home.
So as you jogged by, you saw the victim slumped over against the steering column.
Yeah, I saw her slumped over and I stopped. To see if I could do something.
So this is the same route that you take every day when you're...
Yeah, I take this route every day. I just started jogging about 2 weeks ago. I tried to get in the car.
it's gonna take me about
see if I could help her.
20 more minutes.
I couldn't get in, it was locked.
Just relax, everything will be okay.
So what have we got?
It looks like
Yeah,
How long ago?
sometime this morning. This is the lead investigator.
It'll be all right. I'm here. Your body's shaking. Let me call the doctor.
Sean, check these windows out for forced entry. Andy, lead the way. Come on. Let's move, guys. Come on. Through here. Now we don't get anything. Photo this. About the back. Oh, look over here. Another window. They're here. How about that? Whitney Collier's wallet. Bathroom's clear. Note that the victim's handbag was found in the suspect's home. I'll take it, yes, sir. And note that the handbag contained a large amount of cash.
She thought you were Marvin, her son.
Why wouldn't he come?
You did a lovely thing, Dudley.
Can I help?
No, I can take care of everything here. Dr. Hightower asked to see you.
Enter.
Morning, Dr. Hightower. Dr. Weil said that you wanted to see me. Mr. Banks, I'm Detective Fitzsimmons with the Los Angeles Police Department.
Clarence, I wanted to talk...
This is not a good time, Megan.
What's going on? Dudley Banks, I'm placing you under arrest for the murder of one Whitney Collier.
There's a parking space down there.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, I just moved 2 bills from the past due file to the way past due file.
Fine. When they get to the, oh no, they can't possibly be that past due file, pay them.
It's quite a show you and the parrot put on in court.
Well, you know, bad guy's in jail. Shirley is busy getting chummy with all the boy parrots at the zoo. Justice was served. I got it. McBride and Associates.
Hi, McBride. It's Megan Wheel.
Hi. Megan, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am fine.
Great. Could you come see me today?
No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's important.
Yeah, oh no, sure, yeah. I'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Philip, I gotta see an old friend. Listen, if Russell calls, tell him I want to see a lot of dead termites when I get home tonight.
Park around the back.
Thank you for coming right over.
Well, Megan, you know what? If you hadn't been in the ER 8 years ago, I wouldn't be anywhere at all. What's up?
A young orderly here at the hospital has been arrested.
How serious?
Murder.
Doesn't get any more serious than that.
His name is Dudley Banks. He's dedicated and honest, and he cares about people.
He doesn't have a lawyer.
He doesn't have any money, so he can't afford a lawyer. Please, McBride, he's a good man. I believe in him.
Well, you can't ask for a better recommendation than that.
Go with the 420.
What do you want?
You know something, Roberta? That kind of attitude is the enemy of romance.
You know something, McBride? You're right. What do you want?
Fine. If you're going to be that way about it. Dudley Banks, arrested yesterday. What can you tell me?
Time after time after time. Why do I do this?
What? Because you're a good and decent person, and I'm a pest.
I'll let that pass.
Which part?
Well, there's good news and bad news. Seems Mr. Banks robbed and killed a woman who had given him a ride.
What's the good news?
Your former partner, Jake Fitzsimmons, is handling the case.
That's the good news?
Why not?
No, nothing.
What?
No, he's fine. No, he's fine. He was a decent partner. It's just that the entire time we were together, all he ever wanted to do was get me into one get-rich-quick scheme after another. It was either gold mines or health clubs or land deals on the Palmdale Bulge.
Well, you'll be happy to know some things never change. Bye.
McBride? What a sight for sore eyes. How the heck are you?
Hey, Fitz. I'm good.
Only good? How'd you like to be great and make a little money on the side while you're at it?
Yeah, that sounds wonderful, but you know what? Since the last time I listened to you, I think about poverty. It's cheaper.
I know I've made a couple of mistakes, but I'm talking about the real deal here. High-tech, genetically engineered vitamins. Look at me. I feel like I'm 25.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll look at the brochure, I promise. Right now, I'm just interested in a little police information. I understand you arrested Dudley Banks.
Don't tell me you're thinking about representing that guy. Let's see. We got Mr. Banks' fingerprints in the deceased woman's car where we found her body. We've got her handbag containing $5,000 that we found in Mr. Banks' house. We have a receipt from a diner in Mustang Hill in her handbag. When we checked out the diner, we found a waitress who will testify that Mr. Banks chatted up the deceased and left with her.
Man? Doesn't look good, huh? How'd she die?
He strangled her.
Allegedly, right, Fitz? Unless I missed the trial.
And he's got a previous record.
Come on, I mean, the previous. I mean, they're all just juvenile misdemeanors. Can I see him?
The kid is toast, McBride. I hate to see you waste your time on something that's going to look bad on your resume. Let the PD handle it. Save you the embarrassment.
Well, I just promised somebody I'd look into it.
Then take these.
Evidence?
Vitamins. You'll feel so good, you'll want to share with all your friends.
Take all of these.
2 packets a day. But here's the kicker. You make money while you're feeling good. You sell to 10 people, they sell to 10 people, and so on. I netted $900 last month.
Thanks, Fitz.
Don't forget those vitamins.
I'll get back to you on it.
I'll remind you.
I know you will.
Look, I already told him. I didn't do anything. She was a nice lady. She gave me a ride, and that is all.
Calm down, please, Dudley. Sit down. Sit down. I'm not a cop. I'm a lawyer. And I would suggest that you don't offer any information unless there is a lawyer in the room with you.
You the public defender they told me about?
No. Dr. Weil is a friend of mine. She asked me to talk to you because she thinks this is a big mistake, too.
She did?
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford a lawyer.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. According to Megan, you're a candidate for sainthood.
Well, I like to help people. My mother died when I was 4. When she was real sick, they wouldn't let me see her, and she died all alone. I promised myself I would never let that happen to anyone else.
What about your dad?
I never knew him. He took off before I was born. After my mother died, I was bounced around to a bunch of different foster homes.
Mm-hmm. I guess that would explain your juvenile problems.
I was a kid. I was confused and angry. I got myself back on track and took some classes. I became an orderly. First, I worked at a hospice in San Diego, and then I moved to Los Angeles and got a job at Sacred Cross working in geriatrics.
Tell me about the night you got a ride with Mrs. Collier.
I'm a big Golden State Warriors fan. I won a free ticket, and I don't have a car, so I got a ride up with a friend. On the way back, I had to hitch. I got a ride as far as Mustang Hill with a trucker, but he was parking for the night to sleep. I met Mrs. Collier in the diner, and she offered to give me a ride. She dropped me off at home, and that is all that happened.
Gotta be more. Yeah, you should be aware that the evidence against you is substantial. As it stands now, it's not going to be difficult for the district attorney to get a conviction. Do you have any idea what he's going to say happened that night?
Just a little spending money.
Financially, just barely making it, living from paycheck to paycheck. Then all of a sudden, you discover the woman who's giving you a ride has a huge wad of cash, and you decide to steal it.
No, I didn't. Well, this is me right here.
Oh, right here?
Yep.
All right, well, there you go.
Well, thanks again for the ride.
I must say I really enjoyed myself. Thanks for accompanying me. Have a good night. Oh, listen, don't forget your backpack. What are you doing? Give me my bag! What are you doing? Oh my gosh! Oh, somebody help me! Help me! Get off of me!
Hey, I didn't rob her. I didn't kill her. She gave me a ride home, and that is all. I got out of her car in front of my house, and I thanked her. You gotta believe me, I didn't kill her. I try to help people.
So other than what's in your record, you're the perfect young man.
No. I did something when I was a teenager that I'm not proud of. A friend of mine got killed, got beaten to death in a street fight, and I was there. And I didn't try to stop it. And I didn't come forward with any information until I was taken into custody by the authorities.
Yeah, you're 26 now. Huh? Maybe you're scared again? Trying to save yourself from a really big mistake.
No, I didn't do it. Can you help me?
The defendant will please stand. How does the defendant plead?
Not guilty.
Your Honor, at this point, I'd like to bring up the issue of bail.
Your Honor, the people consider this defendant a flight risk. He has no real ties to the community.
Bail denied. The defendant will be held in custody. There'll be a 1-hour lunch break.
Knock this out, then. Be all right.
No. Most lawyers take on paying cases to earn a living and then do a little pro bono work on the side to ease their conscience.
What's your point?
My point is that we seem to be doing mostly the pro bono part and not so much the earning a living part.
You talked to Dudley. Do you think he robbed and killed that woman?
No, I don't.
Right, so what happens to him if we don't defend him?
He gets assigned a public defender.
Why did you quit the public defender's office and come to work with me?
Because, among other things, you only take on one big case at a time so that you can devote your energy to your client. Besides, client rarely stands a chance when you've got a public defender, especially a new one, going up against a tough career prosecutor. We've got to take this case, don't we?
Oh, we didn't order yet.
Oh, McBride always has his appetizers.
You come here often.
Shall I bring your usual order? For two?
Oh, no, just for one. It all looks very good, but I'm not hungry. I'll just have some tea.
Thank you. So, Roberta, about this weekend...
You took the Dudley Banks case, didn't you?
Yes.
And you've got to work all weekend.
Dudley Banks is in a lot of trouble.
Yes, he is. This is when we come to the part where you want a favor.
You could do a little background checking on the Colliers for me.
I'll see what I can find.
Thank you.
Do you ever think of running for president?
Why?
Well, you just blew me off for the weekend and you got me to volunteer to help you out. More persuasive than the president's. Cuter, too.
Look, how many times can I tell you? She gave me a ride home, that's all.
No, Dudley. You gotta do better than that. Come on, look. Her handbag was found in your house. Now, if you didn't put it there, that means someone else did. It also means that that someone saw Whitney drop you off. So you've got to think, we need details. What happened after you got out of Whitney's car?
I went right into my house.
You didn't see anyone on the way in?
No, it was almost 3 in the morning. You'd have to be nuts to be hanging around outside of my neighborhood at that hour.
And you didn't notice anything out of the ordinary around the house?
No. I was exhausted, and I knew I had to leave for work in 5 hours, so I went straight to bed. I opened this window, which is something I always do when it's hot because I don't have air conditioning. The next morning, I ran out of the house to catch the bus for work. Wait a minute. That's it.
What?
The window. I ran out of the house without closing and locking the window. Mrs. Collier's killer must have come in through the open window and planted the handbag.
And they knew that you could easily be traced as the last person who saw her alive.
Somebody framed me?
Well, the big question's going to be why would somebody commit a murder and a robbery and then leave the loot behind? Unless robbery wasn't the motive. Fortunately, it's just your word that the window was open, and believe me, your word won't carry much weight. If you think of anything, call me immediately, right? And don't you worry. I'm in this with you. All the way. Thanks.
Talking to your client?
Hey. Yeah.
Any help?
Not yet.
So you tried those vitamins I gave you yet?
You know what? No, but I will.
Now, if you're going to stay on this case, they'll come in handy. They'll give you that extra boost of energy and concentration.
Thanks, Fitz.
Just trying to help my old partner.
Hey, Fitz. Let me ask you something. You wrote in the report that you found Mrs. Collier's handbag with the money still in it, in plain sight on a coffee table in Dudley's apartment, right?
Yeah? Why?
I'm just trying to figure out, why would he kill her for her money and then leave the handbag just out in the open when he goes to work the next morning?
Beats me. If he's crazy enough to commit murder, who knows what went through his head? Don't forget the vitamins.
Right, Fitz. Yeah, 2 packs.
Look, I'm sorry, McBride, but everything we found, both at the crime scene and at the suspect's home, indicates that he's the one.
Well, obviously you were going to find traces of him in her car. She gave him a ride.
But his were the only prints other than hers in the car. And then there's the matter of his prints all over the contents of her purse that was found at his house.
The purse spilled. During the ride, he put the stuff back in for her.
Hey, you don't have to convince me. Only forensics, not the jury.
No, I'm sorry. Just... You didn't find anything else?
Well, we did find this.
What is it?
It's a thread of cloth. It was stuck to the stem of the door lock on the driver's side. Now, it doesn't match anything that the accused or the deceased was wearing, but I'm not sure that that means anything because it could have come from anywhere. All right, I'll run some tests on it.
Thank you.
I'll get that for you, sir.
Thank you. Right, as far as I understand.
My friends, thank you all for coming here today to help me celebrate my beloved wife, Whitney. Because as we all know, she loved life as much as I loved her. Whitney, you're my rock, my heart, my soul. I will always love you. To Whitney.
To Whitney.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
like Collier's taking his wife's test very well, giving good emotional support.
Son of a...
Problem?
It's my wife.
Thank you for coming, Stephen.
We're leaving.
Well, I appreciate your condolences.
Your hands were all over her.
Relax, honey. She's just an old family friend.
May I help you?
They were a beautiful couple. Looks like they were very much in love.
Yes, very.
I'm sorry. McBride.
Chelsea Robertson.
When were they married?
A year ago. I'm Mr. Collier's executive secretary. I thought I knew all of his friends and his business colleagues, but I can't seem to place you. Do I know you?
Not yet.
Chelsea, I can't seem to find the other one of these.
Who are you? You know, Chelsea was just asking the same thing. My name's McBride.
Were you invited?
No, and I have to apologize for intruding on your grief, but I'm interested in finding the person responsible for killing your wife.
Who did you say you were?
The name's McBride. I'm actually a lawyer, and I'm representing the man they have in custody. His name is Dudley Banks.
I don't believe this. You barge into my home to tell me that you represent the man who killed my wife?
Well, sir, that really hasn't been proved yet, has it?
I loved my wife.
So I hear. Again, I apologize. Thanks for your time. Did Whitney talk at all about her marriage on the way home?
Not really.
Nothing about what a great guy her husband was?
She just said that he was in real estate. From her car and the clothes and jewelry that she was wearing, I figured they were pretty well off.
Jewelry?
She had an expensive-looking watch and a pretty big diamond ring.
Spanish David 2-1 radio check, over.
Hey, Fitz, let me ask you something. In the crime scene report, it stated that Mrs. Collier was wearing a watch and a diamond ring.
Yeah? So?
Well, my client just told me Whitney Collier was wearing an expensive Rolex and a huge diamond ring. It must have cost a fortune.
What are you getting at?
Why would my client take the money and not her jewelry?
Because he couldn't get rid of it?
Right, but he takes the bag, leaves it out in the open with the cash still in it.
Well, maybe somebody came by, or maybe he panicked and just grabbed the bag and ran.
Yeah, maybe.
Did you try those vitamins yet?
Yeah, I don't feel any different.
Well, McBride, you got to give him a couple of weeks to get into your system. Can I sign you up?
I don't, I'll let you know, okay?
Yeah, do that.
Thanks, Mick. Hey, Phil.
Hey.
Listen, I don't know if this will lead anywhere, but I want you to get on a plane, get up to the Bay Area, and check out a place called the Oakland Plaza Hotel. There was a book of matches in Whitney Collier's evidence bag.
Okay. Oakland Plaza Hotel.
See if you can dig up anything.
All right, I'm halfway there.
Okay. Call me later.
Okay, bye.
Y'all stop by.
Oh, hi. Name's McBride. I saw you at the Whitney Collier Memorial.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Was he really hitting on your wife?
What you saw was classic Hanson Collier.
Huh. Club soda and another martini for my friend. I thought they were a very happy couple.
In just a second.
You kidding? Hanson Collier is a lying, cheating womanizer who thinks he's God's gift to women. Look, I'm sorry his wife was killed. It's just a wonder she didn't kill him. Whitney would have had to been blind not to know that.
Hanson's a womanizer.
He's hit on half the women in this club. He'll tell anybody what he thinks they want to hear. How do you think he got where he is today?
A lot of hard work.
Security, sir. Are you a member of this club?
I was thinking about it, but it's too far a drive from my house.
Can you come with us, sir?
So happy. Thank you. Bye.
Hello. Do you recognize this woman?
You cop?
No, I'm not a cop. Maybe another picture will jog your memory.
That's Whitney Collier. She keeps her room here full time. We never know when she's coming, and when she's here, she's very reclusive. We hardly ever see her.
And what room is that?
You're trying to get me fired? Like I said, when she's here, she's very reclusive.
You have no idea.
Yes, my name is Davis. Should have reservation for today. Yes, over at the inside.
Hi, is this Jardin del Sol? Hi, I need to order some flowers, please.
Hi.
Weren't you asked to leave the premises?
Yes, I was.
Well, then I think you should go.
Oh, come on. Look, you made a drink that nobody ordered. You carried over to Hanson Collier. You whisper in his ear. He's on the phone. Next thing I know, I'm being thrown out of the place. It's okay. I understand. I just wanted to ask if you're on his payroll. Or maybe one of his lovers. I'd go with lover.
Hi. Okay, do you know this woman?
Last time I saw her, I put her in a cab to Carpex Shipping down at the docks.
Oh, sounds swanky.
It's a no-brainer, Carl. I've got the city council in my hip pocket, which is where I keep my wallet. They're not gonna let a couple of trees stand in my way. Okay, a couple of 100 trees. Who's gonna quibble over a few zeros? Look, I don't care if they're 3,000 years old. They've had their time, now it's mine. I've got to go. Excuse me. What the hell are you doing here?
Hi, your housekeeper was kind enough to let me in.
And I'm going to be kind enough to let you out.
I just came by because when I was here at your wife's memorial, I could have sworn that I had put some sunglasses down. But you know, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to have to eventually ask you the big question. You're here, I'm here. We could do it now unless you prefer we wait until we're in court.
Let me answer the big question. Hanson was with me the night that his wife was murdered.
Chelsea.
All night.
So you two
Our lovers, yes.
gotta love an honest woman, huh?
A little honesty right now will save us a lot of time later.
Look, I was very fond of Whitney, but I saw a lot of Chelsea when we traveled on business together.
And divorcing Whitney would have been messy.
Especially for Whitney.
Why?
I recently discovered that Whitney had been systematically siphoning off Hanson's money.
We don't need to get into all of that.
Well, we will during the trial.
Mr. McBride, I will testify that Hanson was with me the entire night of his wife's murder.
Excuse me. Can I help you with something?
Yes, I hope so. I was wondering if you know this woman?
Sorry, I'm late, Trudy.
Oh, that's okay.
You ready?
You're a stalker.
Listen, Abigail, I'm a lawyer. Hanson Collier's in a lot of trouble, and he's gonna need all the help he can get.
This is the guy.
I understand you're looking for somebody. Perhaps I can help you. Jerome Harris.
Phil Newberry. I was told someone at this facility could identify this woman.
Are you a police officer, Mr. Newberry?
I'm a lawyer.
So am I. Is this woman in any trouble?
Yeah, I would say so, yes.
Okay, well, why don't you come with me?
Who are you? Where'd you get this photo of my wife? Your wife? Maybe you didn't hear me. I'll ask you one more time. Who are you? Where did you get this photo of my wife?
Your wife is Whitney Collier?
Who's Whitney? My wife's Monica Carpeck.
He tells me he's a lawyer.
Monica in some kind of trouble?
Do you know where your wife is right now?
She's traveling. She likes to travel.
Did she leave last Sunday by any chance?
Yes. What's it to you, Mr. Newberry?
Mr. Carpeck, I don't know how to tell you this delicately, but I think that they're the same woman.
Thanks again, Mr. McBride.
The deal was I would talk to you, parole officer, if you kept going to meetings.
Okay, I'll do it.
Give me a call next week.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you both for coming.
So what's this all about?
Well, you know what? If you give me just a few moments, I think I will be able to explain everything.
So what's so damn important that it couldn't wait? Well, this is nice.
Cozy, huh? You know, but there's a quandary. Both of these lovely young women seem to be willing to testify that you were with them on the night that your wife was murdered. And I'm, well, just curious as to which one it was. Or, and this would make me and my dog very jealous, was it both of them?
Were you with her? You lying, cheating. I didn't know where he was that night, but I wanted to protect him. I was willing to perjure myself for you. You make me sick.
You loved her? You loved me? How many women did you lie to? How many? He was with me. He was with me all night long. And he makes my skin crawl.
It's all right. That's what we call an ironclad alibi. Would you like some coffee?
What is this? What are Monica's clothes doing here?
Vince, isn't this the necklace that you gave Monica?
Where is she? Where is she?
Maybe you should calm down, Vince. Let Mr. Newberry tell us what he knows.
The woman who rents this suite, the woman in the other photo, her name is Whitney Collier, Mrs. Hanson Collier.
What?
Whitney Collier left San Francisco last Sunday. She was murdered in LA that night, possibly by somebody who followed her there from here.
She's dead? My Monica's dead?
Excuse me, are you intimating that Mr. Karpek might be involved?
I'm not intimating anything. I just want some answers.
Okay, well, if you find some answers, you call me. If you have any more questions for Mr. Karpek, you call me. As Mr. Karpek's personal attorney, I'm going to advise him not to speak with you any further. Understood?
You already gave me one of these. All right, understood.
Okay, watch your step.
Oh, Francis, any word on the thread you showed me?
Well, I know it's rayon, and I'm pretty sure it's from a windbreaker.
And I'm thinking about it. Is it possible that he got there if someone had been, like, leaning through the open driver's window?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
McBride, what do you think?
This case is going to be harder than I thought. Hanson Collier has an alibi.
Banks is guilty. I'm talking about the vitamins. Can I sign you up?
Fitz.
Boyle, you're feeling a lot better since you started the vitamin program, right? I got a lock on the guys here, but you got bigger and richer fish. You got the whole legal profession out there to tap into.
No, Fitz. Oh, by the way, have you seen Roberta?
I've already tried selling to her. She's no dice.
Okay, no. Have you seen Roberta?
Oh, she's out on a case.
All right, just ask her to call me when she gets back.
No, will do.
Thanks.
Hey, don't forget the vitamins.
All right.
Did I tell you how much I netted last month?
900.
Yeah, bizarre is putting it mildly. Either Whitney had multiple personalities or somebody was taking somebody else for a ride. Yes, I definitely think Karpek was capable of murder. I think he's an enforcer for the mob. Yeah, so get this. He comes into the room, he throws all of her clothes at me, he grabs me by the throat, and then he storms out of the room and goes to the airport. Because I followed him. Thanks. Okay, so he's on a plane bound for LA right now. He should be there in about an hour. You can't miss him. He's 6 feet, 190, the only adult male wearing gold chains. Yeah, definitely a mob enforcer. All right, bye.
Karpek? I'm sorry for your loss. I want to find her killer.
You a cop?
Lawyer.
What is it with all the lawyers all of a sudden?
Phil Newberry. He works for me.
You told me she wasn't who I thought she was.
She, married a man here in Los Angeles a year ago. When did you marry her?
6 months ago.
In San Francisco?
Yes. Who is he?
She was stealing money from him.
You do this?
No. She may have been stealing money from you, too.
What are you talking about?
She had $5,000 in cash on her when she returned from Los Angeles from San Francisco. I think somebody was following her.
You think that I found out that she was stealing from me, so I killed her? I loved her.
She probably knew that. That's how she could use you.
Shut up about her.
Did I mention that she was strangled, sir?
Newberry, taking your basic PD case without a weekly paycheck getting old yet? I got the answer to all your problems. Vitamins.
Thank you, Fitz. I'll think about it. Have you seen Roberta?
She's still out on the case. Anything I can do to help?
Well, McBride wanted me to give Roberta Whitney Collier's prints to run.
Why? She's dead.
Well, we're just not sure that she was who we think she was, you know? Hey, could you run them for me?
No problem.
Mr. McBride.
Mm-hmm. Who are you?
I'm Agent Kimball of the FBI.
Agent Frankel? Let me guess, FBI. Have a nice day.
We need to have a talk, sir.
Well, now is not a good time, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't. We need you to come with us.
You guys always talk in turns?
That's a good question for Agent Frankel.
Looks familiar. Glad to see the feds don't live any better than we used to on a stakeout.
We know all about you, Mr. McBride.
Stint in the armed forces, LAPD for 12 years. Quality of service record? Depends on who you ask.
Got shut up real bad about 8 years ago, quit the force, went into law school.
You guys told me what I had for breakfast. I'm going to be really impressed. Well, we cut the crap. Tell me what this is all about.
You were talking to Vincent Karpek at the cemetery.
I was.
Karpek is the subject of an FBI money laundering sting, which we've been working on for well over a year.
And we don't want anyone screwing it up for us.
You know, he may have committed a murder.
Yeah, well, you need to tell us something we don't already know.
No, a specific murder.
When we're finished with Karpek, you can have him. Say in about 200 years. Do I make myself clear, Mr. McBride?
Mm-hmm. Very.
Good. You can go.
Hey,
Hi.
me.
How's it going?
Oh, yeah, no, it's going great. More twists and turns than a pretzel. Let me ask you something. Did any FBI guys in San Francisco talk to you about Karpek?
FBI? No. Why?
Well, because it's so weird. I came to...
Hello? Back?
Just got weirder. I want to call you back.
I don't like this. Just let him walk out of here.
What we're supposed to do, shoot him?
Vincent, don't worry. We took care of McBride. It's a piece of cake.
get out of here.
You guys got no sense of humor.
Screwdriver.
Good boy. Good dog. You know what? I just hope that he is paying you for that work just hurt.
Where have you been? Car trouble?
Yeah, you could say that. My car was in Forest Lawn. I wasn't.
So, you know those prints you had me run on Whitney Collier? Fitzsimmons did it for me, by the way.
He sell you any vitamins?
Hey, tried. Thanks for the heads up. Whitney Collier's prints are an exact match for Monica Karbeck.
Phil, you're a genius. You and your little computer.
Yes, well, there's more to the story. Monica's prints match Whitney's prints, and they also match a third lady. A housewife in Simi Valley named Arlene Ferguson.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Whitney Collier, or whatever the hell her name is, has 3 husbands?
Yes, looks that way. You think Karpeck found out that Monica was not only stealing from him, but that she wasn't who she said she was?
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. Dudley Banks was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong woman. It's starting to sound like a bad version of Sybil. Wow. Somebody with more overdue bills than I have. Hi. Do you know the couple who live in this house?
Wayne and Arlene Ferguson? There's Wayne now.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ferguson?
You a bill collector?
No, sir. Lawyer.
Well, if you're not here for money, what's this about?
We need to have a talk, sir. May I come inside? It's about your wife.
No record of a Vincent Karpeck? No? No? All right, thanks. Excuse me. Hi.
Hello. Do you have a reservation?
Actually, Vincent Karpeck would like to rent the same car he rented on the 14th of the month.
Yes, sir. He always rents the same car. He must be new.
Brand new.
There we are.
Could I take a look at that, actually? I'm being new and all. I don't want to mess up his reservation.
Don't blame you.
I'm investigating the murder of a woman named Whitney Collier. Have you ever heard that name before?
No.
How about Monica Karpeck?
No.
Whitney Collier was married to a real estate developer in Orange County. Turns out she was also married to a man in Northern California at the same time, Vincent Karpeck. My searching has uncovered a third husband. You, sir. Whitney Collier. Monica Karpeck. Arlene Ferguson. They're all the same woman. Sorry to have to tell you this, sir, but your wife is dead.
No.
I've also learned that you were the sole beneficiary of Arlene's life insurance policy.
You think I killed Arlene?
How much was the insurance policy for?
$1 million. But I could never have hurt Arlene.
Wayne, I know that your financial problems started about a year ago. And if I know it, the district attorney knows it, if you understand my meaning.
I let her down. I forced her away from me.
Could you tell me where you were on the night of the 14th?
I'd driven all the way to Fresno on a job interview, but got turned down for being overqualified. Overage is more like it. I was so depressed I had a few too many drinks. This is a small community. I know a few of the cops, and they know the hard time I've been going through, so they let me sleep it off. Go home in the morning.
I had coffee with the officers, and then I just went on my way.
You're sure that they didn't find anything?
So far, nothing.
There's got to be something. There's always something.
What are you guys supposed to find?
A print, a hair, anything that puts Whitney Collier in this car.
You and McBride still trying to pull a needle out of a haystack?
Our client is innocent.
Nice car. Whose is it?
One of the suspects in the Collier case. Detective Hanson.
One of the suspects? How many suspects you guys got?
You sure? Yeah. Sorry, Phil. But there's nothing that indicates Whitney Collier was in this car.
Good luck. Anything I can do to help, let me know.
All right, listen. Karpek's driver's license number is on this rental agreement. Could you please just run it for me?
All right, let's give it a shot.
Thank you.
Hiya. Hey. Wade Ferguson's a bust. You know, he's got a better alibi than Hanson Collier. Gotta be Karpek. Proving it's gonna be tough.
Maybe not. I took Karpek's driver's license over to Roberta to check out.
And?
We found a speeding ticket issued in Los Angeles at 7:42 on the morning of the 15th.
It's the day after Whitney was killed.
On the 5 freeway heading out of L.A., which means he was in L.A. the night of the murder.
Well done, young Phil. Now we're getting somewhere. I want you to get back up to Oakland. Pay our friend, Mr. Karpek, a little visit.
Mr. Harris.
Oh, jeez. You know, you're like a bad cold that just won't go away.
Look, I really need to speak to Mr. Karpek.
I told you, you speak to me, and I will speak to Mr. Karpek for you.
I know he was in Los Angeles the night of Monica's murder.
Vincent Karpek was in Chicago that night.
Then he shouldn't mind telling me that himself, should he? Look, if he can do that, I will go away and I won't bother him or you ever again. Deal?
What's he doing here?
Deal.
1 minute, one question. He says he'll never ask you another one.
All right. What?
Mr. Karpek, are you willing to swear that you were in Chicago on the night of the 14th?
I flew to Chicago at 9 in the morning. Met with business associates. I ate dinner with them and stayed the night. They'll all vouch for me. Next day, I got on a plane, landed back in San Francisco at 1:30.
Wow. That was great. Can't wait to see if your performance is that good in court.
Yeah, I thought you said that was your last question.
That's the last question you'll be hearing from me. From now on, McBride will be asking all the questions. This is a court summons. You might want to take that. I gotta go.
She had 3 husbands.
San Francisco mobster, a real estate tycoon from Orange County, and an out-of-work insurance salesman in Simi Valley.
3 strikes and you're out.
She was a piece of work. I mean, a chameleon. I mean, she blended into the environment of each of those 3 guys.
She was stealing from both Collier and Karpek. What was she doing with all that money?
I don't know.
You know what I think? I think she was living out some kind of fantasy.
Oh,
What? You think men are the only ones who fantasize? I fantasize all the time. That someday you and I will have a real relationship.
no, you know.
Mr. McBride.
Oh, guys, come on. Nice badges. Give me a break, okay? You had me going the first time. Very authentic setting. I mean, it looked like a real stakeout. Now, you just go run off and tell Mr. Karpek that I am properly intimidated.
Nice to see you, Kurt.
Nice to see you too, Roberta. It's been a while.
McBride, this is Kurt Frankel, FBI station agent here in Los Angeles. I take it you've met him and his partner, Steve Kimball.
All right, boys, enough of the courtship. Let's exchange vows. Green and clean. I'd like a match. Artists. Like it. Whoa, whoa! Oh, man. All right. Yeah.
two men in the picture with Vincent Karpek are Jonas Mitchell and Parker Elliott. They've been running a major counterfeiting operation for quite some time, laundering their funny money through Oakland. Mr. Karpek volunteered to help us out in our efforts to shut down their business in exchange for an opportunity at a new life in the witness protection program.
You'll notice that our sting operation was a major success because of Mr. Karpek. You'll also notice Mr. Karpek was with us in L.A. the day of your murder.
So none of his people knew he wasn't in Chicago?
No one could know that Mr. Karpek was cooperating with us. We couldn't afford to compromise our sting operation.
Operation Dumbo Drop.
That's why he got a speeding ticket leaving Los Angeles. He left late to return to Oakland.
Did you get there in time so your lawyer would think that you came in on a flight from Chicago?
I told you that I didn't kill Monica. I loved her. Why do you think I offered to help these bums? They were gonna help me and Monica disappear, start a new life together. I loved her enough to get out. Now she's gone.
Yeah, I still have to find a murderer.
Hey, you two.
Hey.
Why the long faces?
Vincent Karpek did not kill Whitney Collier. He has an ironclad alibi.
The best one yet.
Well, I don't know if this will do us any good, but I've been busy digging up some very interesting information down at the Hall of Records.
What for?
The Superman factor.
What?
What did Clark Kent do every time he needed to become Superman?
He ran into a phone booth and changed into a Superman outfit.
Right. So, got me to thinking. If Whitney Collier has been passing herself off as 3 different women with 3 different looks and wardrobe, she needed a place to do all of her changeovers.
At the Hall of Records.
I discovered that Arlene Ferguson bought a condo.
And whose money did she use for that?
You are gonna love this. She put the house in Simi Valley down as collateral. It gets better. She bought the condo around the same time that she and Hanson Collier got married. And guess where the condo is?
Where?
Playa del Rey.
It's about halfway between Simi Valley and Collier's house in Orange County.
Exactly. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Breaking and entering. What is that?
It's a power pick-o-matic. Got it from a friend's discount website. It's pretty much free. It was... Dang it.
Why don't we just do this the old-fashioned way? What do you say?
Nobody hides their key. I think this is the movies.
Welcome to the movies. Check around in here.
Okay.
Phil.
What?
Come here a second. J.D. Monica Karpek, Whitney Collier.
Arlene Ferguson. There's no way.
Yep. Another identity. And this one was getting ready to travel.
Have you checked the bathroom?
No. Got herself a new passport, certainly good enough to get her out of the country.
Another wig and more makeup.
Long red hair.
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Yeah. Same pictures on the passport.
Jocelyn Dawson.
And a ticket to Paris. Yeah. Keep looking around.
Whoa! Hey, check this out. It's a phone bill with a list of phone calls with the same number. I don't know. Might prove useful.
I know this number.
You ran the forensics tests on the crime scene, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you found fingerprints inside the victim's car?
Yes.
Did any of those prints match the defendant's?
Yes, they did.
Did you find the defendant's fingerprints anywhere else?
On items from the victim's purse.
Did that include her wallet?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Your witness?
Mr. Phillips, I show you here Defense Exhibit K. Ask you to identify it.
It's a thread from a black rayon windbreaker.
Where exactly was this found?
Under the stem of the door lock of the deceased car.
Did you examine any windbreakers belonging to Mr. Banks?
Yes.
Did any of them match this thread?
Objection. Your Honor, we presented the only windbreaker-style black jacket we found in a search of the defendant's home, but it doesn't mean he didn't have another jacket that he'd thrown away.
Your Honor, perhaps the people could save the editorial for their summation.
Overruled.
No further questions. Thank you. Mr. Collier, you're a real estate developer, correct?
Yes.
Very successful one.
I do all right.
So is it true that about a year ago you received a series of death threats from a very unhappy competitor?
Yes, I did.
And did you report these threats to the police?
Yes.
Do you remember the person who headed that investigation?
Yes.
Is that person in the courtroom today?
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. McBride, is this necessary?
Your Honor, I promise everything will tie together.
Just don't try my patience, Mr. McBride. Objection overruled. Proceed.
Is that person in the courtroom today?
Yes, he is.
Could you point him out, please?
The bald man in the front row.
Let the record show that Mr. Collier has identified Detective Jake Fitzsimmons. Thank you, sir. No further questions. Your witness.
No questions.
Defense calls Detective Jake Fitzsimmons to the stand. Detective Fitzsimmons, you were assigned to investigate the death threats that Hanson Collier received. Is that correct?
Yes.
That was in August of last year?
Yes.
Shortly after Hanson Collier and Whitney Collier were married?
I don't know. I wasn't invited to their wedding.
For the record, they were married on August 2nd, 2003. And your investigation commenced August 30th of that same year, correct?
Yes.
What was the outcome of your investigation?
Nothing. The suspect was questioned and the death threat stopped.
Did you know the deceased, Whitney Collier?
No.
You know a woman by the name of Monica Karpak?
Objection. We're fishing here.
I'll rephrase, Your Honor. Detective, during your investigation, did you discover that Hanson Collier's wife, Whitney Collier, was leading a double life?
No.
That she was also known as Monica Karpak?
No.
That both of these personas were created by an emotionally disturbed woman named Arlene Ferguson?
Objection. This line of questioning is irrelevant. We concede. The victim used other aliases. This doesn't have anything to do with her murder.
Your Honor, to the contrary. It has everything to do with her murder. As a matter of fact, it's the reason she was murdered. And if you will allow me, I can prove it.
Answer the question.
No.
Your Honor, at this time, my associate, Mr. Phil Newberry, will give us a visual presentation. This is the woman known to some as Whitney Collier. Our records show that she was born May Jane Bullis, Chicago, 1972. Birth parents unknown, shuffled from one foster home to another, removed from one because of sexual abuse, dropped out of high school, string of dead-end jobs. Guess you could say she was nobody, or everybody. Always probably just fantasizing about the life she could never have.
Your Honor, what's the point to all this?
The point, Your Honor, is that she achieved that fantasy life. As a matter of fact, she created it by becoming someone else. But one fantasy life wasn't enough for her. She wanted to be whatever any man wanted, except the man that killed her.
That's fine, Mr. McBride. But either question this witness or dismiss him.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand. Don't make me do this.
Give it your best shot.
Your Honor, we can't hear this exchange.
Whitney Collier. Phil? Monica Carpack. Phil? Arlene Ferguson. Detective, you know any of these women?
Where is this going, Your Honor?
I have data files from the FBI that prove that Whitney Collier, Monica Carpack, and Arlene Ferguson have identical fingerprints. I also have a deed to a condominium in Playa del Rey purchased by Arlene Ferguson. The phone records from that condominium, where all the calls were made to the same number, 310-555-0144. Detective, what's your phone number?
Objection. Detective Fitzsimmons is not on trial here.
Detective Fitzsimmons, what's your phone number?
310-555-0144.
You discovered that Arlene Ferguson was living multiple lives, and you were blackmailing her, weren't you? Your Honor!
Answer the question.
Absolutely not.
You know what I think? I think that Mrs. Ferguson realized that her charade was getting too expensive, and she intended on leaving the country under a completely different identity. Jocelyn Dawson. We also found in that condominium Whitney Collier's checkbook. In it is a series of cash withdrawals in the amount of $9,500, just under the limit that banks have to report to the Treasury Department. The withdrawals began on September 27th, 2003, just a month after Detective Fitzsimmons began his investigation of Hanson Collier's death threat, and they end 4 days before Whitney Collier was murdered. She told you she was going to stop paying you. You followed her that night. You confronted her, you argued with her, and you killed her.
That's not true!
The whole vitamin thing, that was just to cover up some of your extra cash, wasn't it, Fitz? The one thing that bothered me, though, why would a woman traveling alone, late at night, pull her car over on a dark, secluded street in a neighborhood that was unknown to her? She wouldn't. And it hit me. Unless she was being pulled over by a policeman.
Sorry, officer, did I...
You can't do this to me. I'm going to get away with this.
Detective Fitzsimmons confronted her because she had stopped the blackmail payments. The argument got out of hand. Detective Fitzsimmons, do you own a black windbreaker?
No.
Really? I had my associate, Phil Newberry, go to Eli Cleaners. He said he was there to pick up your cleaning for you. Looks like a black windbreaker to me. You also had them repair a small tear under the right arm, which they did a very good job on. You tore this on the door lock, didn't you? As you reached in through the window and strangled her to death. And you, of all people, should know that forensics won't have a problem matching that thread to this jacket. What do you think, Detective?
I'm not saying anything without consulting an attorney.
Can't say I blame you. You should have tossed the jacket, Vince. But you were always such a cheapskate. No more questions.
Will the foreperson please rise and state your verdict?
We find the defendant, Dudley Banks, not guilty.
This concludes the court's business. In accordance with the jury's verdict, the defendant is free to go. The jury is discharged with the thanks of the court.
Thank you. No, you really have to thank Dr. Weil. She's the one that believed in you from the start.
Dr. Weil, how can I...
Come on, Daddy, let's get back to work. You have a lot of patients waiting to see you.
No, I get it. I'll tell you what. You just keep saving lives, okay?
Well done.
Good work.
Thanks.
Too bad about Fitz. We're finally gonna try some. Wait a minute, wait. You're just speaking Chinese?
You
don't even like Chinese food.
I never said I didn't like Chinese food. I said I wasn't fond of Cantonese. It's too bland for me. But then I discovered Mr. and Mrs. Chan also prepare Sichuan dishes. They're not on the menu. You want to try? Good? Oh, he likes it.
They're hot! My name's McBride. I'm an attorney. Seems like you need one.
What's another name for smart?
Where are you going with this, Mr. McBride?
Tough.
My client's life is at stake.
And dedicated.
I don't like to see anybody get railroaded.
The name is McBride.
Who's gonna hurt it?
And just